You are live with OG Stick High. Get your blunts ready. Get your drink ready. It's about to go down.
Young fly guy, shooting when I ride by. And I got a 30-round clip that's in my knife. Big money, what we live for and die by. I'm well connected, everybody call me Wi-Fi. Fuck you talking, I hit the booth and go retarded. I'm special ed, I ride the beach and handicap. Parking that 40 is the compact. That bitch just fit in my pocket. Smoke your homie, you catch contact. Like a UA, I will drop him. Got him. I'm not no Hopkins, I don't got no time for boxing. Pull that Julio, black knocking noodles out the top ramen. Board game, a board game is not coming. And you don't have no sense trying to go against me with that rhyming. System full of secrets, got me twisted, twisted, leaning. A quarter pound of purple, got us twisting, twisted, keeping. A wild out for no reason. My cup full and I'm drinking. My stand like the shit when I'm drunk, but none of the 10 cents, bitch, I'm in it. My snapback and my chase on, my shirt black and my shades on. You just started on your first bottle. We've been drinking all day long. I swerve up in that black. I'm turned up to the max. I hop out on that good, that perk stuff in that crap. My shirt cover my scrap. Best believe I'm tooted out. System full of that fuck 'em all. Trust me, nigga, we can shoot it out. But you don't want no gunplay. Go boosty, the dumb way. I chop her, bring her down. My clock will flip a Hyundai. Young fly guy, shooting when I ride by. And I got a 30-round clip that's in my knife. Big money, what we live for and die by. I'm well connected, everybody call me Wi-Fi. They ain't gotta like me, they respect me though. Respect me though. They ain't gotta like me, they respect me though. Respect me though. They ain't gotta like me, they respect me though. I knock the bitch and pop the bitch. Don't get mad at me, just check it out. Step in the room with a thing that bring these pussy niggas brains out. Disrespect my gangsta, I'ma show you how I bang out. I don't give a fuck if you run up a nigga and represent my hood proud. Iraqi, Pakistani, tell me who fucking will kill us now. I'm a murderer, you beanies just small fries. My TV 211, so I be rocking tall guys. I pull that Uzi like a movie, we can all die. I Scarface the wrong takes of a pure line. I go Muslims on you pigs, on juice wine. That K Dougie on you niggas, watch the crossfire. They say they sick in the head, plus bads and so I'm sick in the head. I be shooting rockets out that 40 that be thick as dreads. You niggas pootery, fugazi, bouquet is daisy. You ain't fucking with me, local flow is simultaneous. Coming out to Amos, I stay shitting on you niggas, never constipated. Shitting is my obligation. Young fly guy, shooting when I ride by. And I got a 30-round clip that's in my knife. Big money, what we live for and die by. I'm well connected, everybody call me Wi-Fi. They ain't gotta like me, they respect me though. Respect me though. They ain't gotta like me, they respect me though. Respect me though. They ain't gotta like me, they respect me though. I knock the bitch and pop the bitch. Don't get mad at me, just check it out.
What's cracking, y'all? It's your guy, Stick High Live. Live with OG Stick High, man. We gonna break down this political debate that went down yesterday. A lot of things went on in the political debate. And for both sides, it looks good. It all sounds good until you start breaking down truths and lies, right? Start breaking down truths and lies, and something about lies that, you know what I'm saying, can be pointed out. Lies can easily be pointed out, just like truths. There are a couple of lies out there put out, and I've done my research on this shit. So I just wanted to point out a couple of things to y'all about this debate. We're gonna tap into the content. I got content to tap into. Let me see which one. Which one shall we start? Okay, let's start with this one. Watch this. Let's start with this one. Watch this shit right here. Oops.
Now listen to Harris defend the botched Afghan withdrawal.
Do you believe you bear any responsibility in the way that withdrawal played out?
I agreed with President Biden's decision to pull out of Afghanistan. And as a result, America's taxpayers are not paying the $300 million a day we were paying for that endless war. There is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world. But let's understand how we got to where we are. Donald Trump, when he was president, negotiated one of the weakest deals you can imagine. He bypassed the Afghan government. He negotiated directly with a terrorist organization called the Taliban.
Okay, retired Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg joins me now. Is Trump to blame in any way for the Afghan debacle, as Harris implies?
Hey, Stuart, thanks for having me. The answer is no. Look, I was part of the negotiations and agreements that we had with the Doha Agreement. And when President Trump picked up the phone and called Mullah Baradar, who was the #1 Taliban leader, and actually started talking to him, and with the Ghani government, and we had a conditions-based agreement. That's called the Doha Agreement. By the way, you can actually pull that up online and look at it. And until those agreements had been made, there was going to be no withdrawal. We were going to go down to around 3,000 soldiers. We were going to go down to around 3,000 what we call paramilitary. Even former Secretary of State Pompeo has said it was conditions-based. And when we got there, everybody had to agree where we were going to go to in the future. The Ghani government and the Taliban as well. So we had it pretty well under control. And for her to say something like that is absolutely absurd. Frankly, Stuart, and to be very blunt, it's a lie to the American people. And the American people can cross-check that. Oh, by the way, why didn't she say at least one thing yesterday when she made that comment? And I'm sorry that we lost 13 great Americans that day at Abbey Gate.
She never mentioned it, not once, and she never has, I don't believe.
No.
A different subject, General. Listen to Trump speak about Putin's invasion of Ukraine. Roll it.
That war should have never started. She was the emissary. They sent her in to negotiate with Zelensky and Putin, and she did. And the war started 3 days later. And that's the kind of talent we have with her. She's worse than Biden. In my opinion, I think he's the worst president in the history of our country. She goes down as the worst vice president in the history of our country. But let me tell you something. She is a horrible negotiator.
General, is Trump right on that?
Sure is. Look, she went to Munich in February 2022, what's called the Munich Security Agreement. I'm sorry, the consortium there in Munich, and she met with Zelensky, and she told Zelensky, this was days before the invasion, what he needed to do, and Zelensky told her what the United States needed to do, and the United States did nothing. So she went there, sent a message. The message was badly received. She is not a good negotiator. She clearly didn't tell Zelensky what he needed to hear. She really didn't help him out. So, look, this whole administration, they're responsible for things like that. Under the Trump administration, we never started a war. We never saw a war started. We didn't see Putin grab any land. Under Obama, Russia took Crimea, and in February 2022, Russia invaded the rest of Ukraine. That's on their watch. At least take responsibility for it and understand they were part of the problem and part of the issue, and they need to be part of the solution. And honestly, Stuart, they are not part of the solution. Their solution is let the war keep running. The president last night was very clear. This is what we want to do. We want to end the killing. A good negotiator will never tell you what the end state looks like. He will never pick a side. You can go back to Teddy Roosevelt when he negotiated the Treaty of Portsmouth, or you go to Henry Kissinger when he did the Paris Peace Accords. You never tell either side where you intend to go. You bring them together. That's what Trump needs to do. He can do it. I know he can do it, and they don't seem to understand that. So do I trust her to negotiate anything with Putin? No. Final comment. Remember, Biden has not called Putin in over 2 years. If you want to talk to an adversary, you need to at least pick up the phone and call him, at least get him to the negotiation table. They can't do it. They won't do it. They have no respect for either Harris or Biden.
All right, General Kellogg, thanks for joining us, General. Always a good thing, and we'll see you again later. Now, defend.
But let's start with the big news story of the day, and that, of course, was the US presidential debate. Kamala Harris said Donald Trump was a liar. Donald Trump said Kamala Harris was incompetent and weak. And, of course, the ABC moderators, well, they repeatedly fact-checked Donald Trump while ignoring constant mistruths from Kamala Harris.
President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country. But you have said, quote, you lost by a whisker, that you couldn't quite make it, that you came up a little bit short. You did bring up something. You said she went to negotiate with Vladimir Putin. Vice President Harris, have you ever met Vladimir Putin?
Now, when Donald Trump said that illegal immigrants were eating people's cats and getting ducks from the local park in Ohio, the Democratic staffers, by which I mean the ABC moderators, they jumped in real quick.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well, I've seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is
the people on television say my dog was taken and used for food.
And Trump, of course, was quite right. No matter what the city manager is saying, there were regular reports in the media of exactly what Trump had alluded to, including this Springfield resident who told local authorities what he'd seen with his own eyes.
They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them. Like, y'all get the Highway State Patrol down here every week, and then y'all get like a task force for the Highway State Patrol.
Another local resident called 911, reporting that geese were being taken to eat. And, of course, this was reposted on Trump's socials with a wonderful graphic.
I'm riding on the trail going to my orientation for my job today, and I see a group of Haitian people, there was more of them, they all had geese in their hands. They got away. I couldn't make out the first three of the license plate, but I got the numbers.
What direction did they go?
They went up towards the middle of towards downtown.
And we'll give you one more example. Here's police body cam footage. They are arresting a woman who allegedly ate a cat. I should point out, this woman is apparently not an immigrant.
What did you do? Why'd you kill the cat? Smile for me. Smile with your teeth. Go like this. No, why'd you kill it? Did you guys see all this?
No, we pulled up and she was just laying there with it.
Did you see her eating it?
Eating it.
She was eating it?
Yeah.
Abortion.
Vice President Harris, want to give you your time to respond, but I do want to ask, would you support any restrictions on a woman's right to an abortion?
I absolutely support reinstating the protections of Roe v. Wade, and as you rightly mentioned, nowhere in America is a woman carrying a pregnancy to term and asking for an abortion. That is not happening. It's insulting to the women of America. And understand what has been happening under Donald Trump's abortion bans. Couples who pray and dream of having a family are being denied IVF treatments. What is happening in our country? Working people, working women who are working 1 or 2 jobs, who can barely afford childcare as it is, have to travel to another state to get on a plane sitting next to strangers to go and get the health care she needs. Barely can afford to do it, and what you are putting her through is unconscionable. And the people of America have not, the majority of Americans believe in a woman's right to make decisions about her own body, and that is why in every state where this issue has been on the ballot, in red and blue states both, the people of America have voted for freedom.
Vice President Harris,
excuse me, I have to respond. Another lie. It's another lie. I have been a leader on IVF, which is fertilization. The IVF, I have been a leader. In fact, when they got a very negative decision on IVF from the Alabama courts, I saw the people of Alabama and the legislature 2 days later voted it in. I've been a leader on it. They know that, and everybody else knows it. I have been a leader on fertilization, IVF. And the other thing, you should ask, will she allow abortion in the 8th month, 9th month, 7th month?
Come on.
Okay, would you do that? Why don't you ask her that question?
Why don't you answer the question? Would you
because
veto?
Under Roe v. Wade,
Answer the question. Would you veto?
You could do abortions in the 7th month, the 8th month, the 9th
That's
month,
not true.
and probably after birth. Just look at the former governor of Virginia. The governor of Virginia said, we put the baby aside and then we determine what we want to do with the baby.
President Trump.
Why don't
Would you
because
veto?
under Roe v. Wade,
Answer the question. Would you veto?
you could do a leader on it. They know that, and everybody else knows it. I have been a leader on fertilization, IVF. And the other thing, you should ask, will she allow abortion in the 8th month, 9th month, 7th month?
Come on.
Okay, would you do that? Why don't you ask her that question?
Why don't you answer
That's
the
problem.
question? Would you
because
veto?
Under Roe v. Wade,
Answer the question. Would you veto?
You could do abortions in the 7th month, the 8th month, the 9th
That's
month,
not true.
and probably after birth. Just look at the former governor of Virginia. The governor of Virginia said, we put the baby aside and then we determine what we want to do with the baby.
President Trump, thank you.
Virginia's governor says he has no regrets on his comments earlier this week defending abortion, even as a baby is being born. In a news conference yesterday, Ralph Northam said Democrats believe legislatures, most of whom are men, should not be making decisions about women's choices for their reproductive health. We have team coverage tonight, including White House correspondent Mark Irons, with the reaction from one of President Trump's closest advisors. But we begin with Capitol Hill correspondent Jason Calvi, who tells us what pro-life lawmakers are doing to fight for the unborn. Jason?
Wyatt, national outrage erupted after New York's abortion law and the failed bill in Virginia. Pro-life leaders say it shows just how radical abortion supporters are. And they hope to use this issue to persuade the country to vote pro-life in 2020. Senator Ben Sasse of Nebraska wants action now.
This is infanticide that we're talking about.
Republican Ben Sasse blasts Governor Ralph Northam of Virginia for supporting a bill in his state that would have allowed abortion up until and during birth.
We're talking about a little baby girl who's been born and is on a table in a hospital or a medical facility, and then a decision or a debate would be had about whether or not you could kill that little baby.
Sass noted it's the biggest debate in the country over the last couple of days. But yesterday, Democrats claimed they hadn't heard Governor Northam's comments.
I'm sorry, I just don't know what he said yesterday.
Here's what Virginia's governor did say.
The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mothers.
Now, Senator Sass is fast-tracking his bill to protect children who survive abortions.
Everyone in the Senate ought to be able to say unequivocally that killing that little baby is wrong. This doesn't take any political courage. And if you can't say that, if there's a member of this body that can't say that, there may be lots of work you can do in the world, but you shouldn't be here.
And pro-life groups will try to oust pro-abortion lawmakers, including in Virginia.
They overplayed their hand, they pulled back the curtain, and they showed Virginians and they showed the entire United States of America what the abortion lobby is really about.
Virginia's Republican majority leader says it's a warning.
They have now been exposed in what they believe and the things they embrace and the legislation they would clearly advance if they had the opportunity.
Democratic Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia, his office says he did not support the failed abortion bill, but he wouldn't comment on the controversy surrounding Governor Northam's words. Senator Ben Sass's proposal would punish doctors who don't treat infants surviving abortions. The House passed the same bill in 2018. Only 6 Democrats voted for it. Wyatt?
Jason, I understand Catholic leaders across the nation have been condemning the failed Virginia bill.
That's right. Archbishop Joseph Naumann, who's in charge of the U.S. Bishops' pro-life committee, he says it shocks the conscience. He accuses Governor Northam of senseless disrespect for new human life. And he's not alone. Senator Marco Rubio of Florida writes, extremism has become the mainstream in the Democratic Party.
Capitol Hill correspondent Jason Calvi reporting.
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So, yes, and starting with what we can do on day one around public lands, right? And then there has to be legislation. But yes, and this is something I've taken on in California, fracking. So, yeah, I'm in favor of banning fracking. No question, 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 I'm in favor of banning fracking. So, yes, no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. 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 So, yes. No question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So, yes, and starting with what we can do on day one around public lands, right? And then there has to be legislation. But yes, and this is something I've taken on in California. I have a history of working on this issue. And to your point, we have to just acknowledge that the residual impact of fracking is enormous in terms of the impact on the health and safety of communities. Yeah, so thank you.
So
the most important and most significant aspect of my policy perspective and decisions is my values have not changed.
So Harris says her values haven't changed. But is that true? Let's look a little closer. The first flip-flop was on fracking. It's the process where you drill into shale to extract natural gas and oil. In 2019, she was against fracking. And it makes sense. Remember, Harris was a progressive then. Fracking raised concerns about climate change, so she opposed it. But that changed in 2020, the moment she became the VP candidate. And now she seems to support it.
As vice president, I did not ban fracking. As president, I will not ban fracking. What I've seen is that we can grow and we can increase a thriving clean energy economy without banning fracking.
The second flip-flop was on the border wall. In 2018, Donald Trump started building a wall on the southern US border. Kamala Harris opposed it. She called it un-American, labeling it a medieval vanity project. In 2024, Harris pledges to spend millions on that same wall if she's elected president. All this while opposing Trump.
He killed the bill, a border security bill that would have put 1,500 more agents on the border. Not only push it, I would make sure that it would come to my desk and I would sign it.
The contradictions did not end there. After Harris, it was Tim Walz's turn. In 2018, he claimed he carried weapons of war. But he's never been deployed to a combat zone. So his statement was questioned.
Putting your trust in me.
And this is how he defended himself yesterday. Walz says he misspoke.
Pick up Bradwards?
Sorry, your online order isn't ready yet.
Why?
Our internet slows down at this time of day.
Yeah, in this case, this was after a school shooting, and my wife, the English teacher, told me my grammar is not always correct.
That sums up Kamala Harris's first interview. A lot of flip-flops, clarifications, defending the current administration, and a dash of Trump bashing.
Anybody who's about beating down other people is a coward.
When asked about the historic nature of her candidacy, Harris almost seemed cautious, as if she wants to distance herself from it, probably wanting to avoid Hillary Clinton's mistake in 2016. So here's her plan as the future American president in a nutshell. It's to project continuity. It's to hug Biden's record and further it. But will America embrace this? We'll find out this November.
Members of California's Legislative Black Caucus are touring the state to promote 14 reparations bills. That includes a measure that will go before voters in November that could change the state constitution to end forced prison labor.
ACA 8, the End Slavery in California Act, which will be presented on the ballot as Prop 7, aims to eliminate involuntary servitude from our state constitution without exception. We are asking voters to support this historic measure and ensure that every individual in California is treated with dignity and respect.
Caucus members and other reparations supporters say they plan to have State of Black California community listening sessions in 6 cities over the next 5 months. The Black Caucus's 14 reparations bills tackle education, business, criminal justice, healthcare, and civil rights. They also just convinced Governor Gavin Newsom to include $12 million for reparations measures in the state budget.
I consider the governor's allocation of $12 million for reparation resources a big win for the California Legislative Black Caucus, as well as all California.
California became the first state in the country to form a reparations task force 3 years ago. And it was the first to introduce a comprehensive reparations package of more than 100 recommendations last year. Some Black California legislatures noted that Republican colleagues have pledged to vote against reparations bills, and some Democrats have expressed reservations. But lawmakers say they will continue to build support for their reparations bills through their listening tour. They plan to start with modest measures that could serve as proof of concept. As Assembly Member Corey Jackson says,
because no matter what legislation is passed, if we don't get to work, we can't put those laws into effect in a meaningful way.
For Cal Matters, with additional reporting by Deborah Brennan, I'm Wendy Fry.
Code 5 units A211 at 675 Main. Backup needed.
We start tonight with controversy at the state capitol. State lawmakers wrapped up their legislative year over the weekend, but it was not without protest over the state's landmark reparations bill. 2 bills did not get a final vote. ABC 10's Becca Habegger joins us in studio with what happened and what could come next.
You know, Alex, many supporters of reparations for Californians who are descendants of chattel slavery in the U.S. feel outraged tonight. That's after Assembly members refused to bring to a vote on Saturday 2 bills that would have created the infrastructure for meaningful reparations.
Supporters of reparations gathered at the Capitol Saturday in support of 2 key bills by Senator Stephen Bradford, who sat on the California Reparations Task Force. The task force met over the course of 2 years, hearing from the public and experts on the long-lasting effects of chattel slavery on Black Americans. Last summer, members published their final report of more than 1,000 pages and more than 100 recommendations.
We're 160 years overdue for this.
On Saturday, Senator Bradford hoped his Assembly colleagues would put his 2 key reparations bills up for a vote. Senate Bill 1403 would have created the California American Freedmen Affairs Agency, tasked with implementing reparations and determining eligibility. Senate Bill 1331 would have established the Fund for Reparations and Reparative justice to eventually pay for the various forms of reparations. Neither of these bills included cash payments for recipients of reparations, and neither of these bills went up for a vote in the final hours of the legislative session, effectively killing them for the year.
We owe it to our ancestors, and I think we disappointed them in a way by at least not having the floor vote and letting the people decide, let the legislators decide whether it should have gone to the governor's desk versus holding the bills.
This session, the California Legislative Black Caucus published a list of 14 bills as part of its reparations package. But Bradford's 2 bills that brought supporters out on Saturday were not among the 14. In a statement, the caucus wrote, in part, members have chosen to concentrate our collective energy on the legislative priorities that the entire caucus has voted on and those that positively impact Black Californians. We remain committed to our long-term goals and recognize that this is a multi-year effort. 9 of the caucus's 14 priority bills passed the legislature, including a formal apology from the state for human rights violations and crimes against humanity on African slaves and their descendants.
An apology is not reparations. Nobody can eat no apology. Nobody can pay their rent with no apology.
Chris Lodgson with the Coalition for a Just and Equitable California says he is outraged the California Legislative Black Caucus didn't bring Senator Bradford's 2 bills up for votes.
It's disrespectful and it's disgusting. I consider it a betrayal of the people.
And Becca, from what we are hearing, there are plans to try again next session, right?
That's right. Yeah, Alex, supporters of Bradford's 2 bills say they're going to fight for this next year, though Senator Bradford is now termed out and no longer able to serve. One of the reparations bills the California Legislative Black Caucus passed is actually something you'll see on your ballot, now called Proposition 6. It would change the wording of the California Constitution, which currently outlaws all forms of slavery except for the involuntary servitude of inmates.
All right, Becca, thank you for the update. And we will keep you updated at home.
Tonight, the leader of California's reparations task force is speaking out after state lawmakers blocked 2 reparations-related proposals. The California Legislative Black Caucus decided to withhold those bills from moving forward. That led to a big protest at the Capitol over the weekend, as you see here. That's what the video is that you're watching right now. KCRA 3 Capitol correspondent Ashley Zavala spoke with the reparations leader.
Yeah, so Ashley, what does she have to say about how this whole session ended over the weekend?
Golston and Lisa, Camila Moore was the chairwoman of California's historic reparations task force. That group wrapped up its work last year after spending years studying the effects of slavery, racial discrimination, and its impact on Black Californians. She says she felt betrayed by the Black Caucus after it decided to block 2 bills she says were fundamental for reparations. Emotions still high after this scene at the state capitol over the weekend.
It's Black people stopping their own people from getting their reparations.
Reparations supporters frustrated by the Legislative Black Caucus's last-minute decision to block votes in the Assembly on proposals that would establish a state agency and state fund for reparations. The Black Caucus divided, with some saying they were afraid of the governor's veto, while the caucus leader, Assemblymember Lori Wilson, claimed the bills did not have the votes.
I think what happened on Saturday was unconscionable.
Camila Moore led California's reparations task force that helped come up with these recommendations. She did not expect this.
What we saw was a complete betrayal by the California Legislative Black Caucus against their own constituents. They chose to prioritize their ego and their own self-interest over the people that they claim to serve.
It seemed like Democratic legislative leaders were hands-off about this. Do you think they should have stepped in?
I do think that the Assembly leadership, namely the Assembly Speaker, Robert Rydaz, should have, intervened. In effect, he sided with the Black Caucus.
How do you, the advocates, the supporters, how do you all move forward here? What are the next steps?
The next step for us is to keep pushing to hold the California Legislative Black Caucus accountable.
Yes on 6! Yes on 6!
We tried to get a response from caucus leader Assemblymember Lori Wilson at a different reparations-related rally that she was supposed to headline at the state capitol Tuesday, but she canceled her appearance. I tried asking supporters about the situation. Do you have any thoughts that you want to share right now? They dodged the question. Now, Assemblymember Wilson's spokesperson told us in part she canceled her appearance there because she did not want to detract from the importance of that rally. As we worked on this story, we
They've been doing sparked the outrage from I gotta find my paper. All right, yeah. So this end eventually sparked the outrage, y'all, and they received a lot of backlash over this shit.
Doing reparations and he's gonna walk by us like he don't know us. Which district, Friday? You raggedy. Oh my God. He cares about undocumented people. He doesn't care about Black Americans. We're gonna join the campaign against you. I know it was an hour and a half. Keep quiet. My house. So what? Riverside? He had us in Riverside. You Democrats have it too cushy. And he's gonna turn around and walk by. You had the Black vote for decades. You won't have.
I am livid right now through the fucking roof. California Legislative Black Caucus refused to bring extremely important reparation legislation to a vote today. Let me get myself because I'm too pissed. This is the fucking letter they wrote to the Black constituents in California. There has been interest regarding the status of Senate Bill 1403. The caucus was unable to participate in the legislative process collectively and only recently became aware of the concerns and issues with. They go on to talk about Senate Bill 1331, and they basically said they didn't approve it. Organization Black Pact and the Reparationist Collective is calling for the recall of the entire slate of the California Legislative Black Caucus. We ain't playing with y'all no more. Y'all done poked the bear and woke the sleeping giant. Y'all done pissed off the wrong people at the wrong time. Y'all need us to fucking show up for Kamala Harris. Ha! Good luck.
You work for us. We work for
Senator Bradford. This bill will create a pathway to return land or provide restitution to Californians who had their land or property taken for racially motivated reasons. Many Californians are now familiar with the history of Bruce's Beach. The beachfront parcel of land in Manhattan Beach was one the beach. But the city of Manhattan Beach resented the Bruce's success and wanted to put them out of business. The city used the power of eminent domain to take Bruce's land for less than their value. Justice eventually came for the descendants of the Bruce family, and just like the Bruce's Beach, SB 1050 will create a pathway to justice for others harmed by similar racist acts. And I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember McKinnon. Seeing and hearing no further debate, the clerk will open roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close roll and tally the votes. Ayes 56, no 0. Measure passes.
Jaluk, and this place is buzzing with anticipation to try to figure out what is the status of their bill. And we are officially less than an hour away until we find out what the results are going to be of all the bills that they haven't voted on. If it is passed, it is going to go to the Governor Newsom's office to see if he will sign or not. But if it doesn't, it is going to die on the House floor. So we're trying to figure that out. But the biggest buzz in this building were bills that weren't voted on, like funding reparations. The final hours of the California legislative session kicking into overdrive as lawmakers try to get their bills approved. On Sunday, lawmakers passed landmark bills to make amends for racism. The proposal they approved allows for the return of land or compensation to families whose property was unfairly taken by the government, and an informal apology for laws and practices that harmed black people. But the buzz surrounding the reparation bills package was over what wasn't addressed: direct payments.
We laid the foundation that those bills are critically important to, stand up what reparations would be here in the state of California.
State Senator Stephen Bradford authored SB 1403, aims to establish the California American Freedmen Affairs Agency, while SB 1331 funds reparations. Both were not voted on.
We should have gotten it to the governor's desk. He never signaled he would veto the bill. He just said he had some concerns, as they have with many bills. But that doesn't mean you don't move forward with the bills, because, you can fix them.
The California Legislative Black Caucus pulled the bill because it said the proposal needs more work.
The bills that pass are not reparations. An apology is not reparations.
Chris Lodgeson, a reparation activist with Coalition for Just and Equitable California.
The only bills today that even had a chance of being called reparations or could even get us to reparations are the bills that did not pass. It's one thing if we go up for a vote and we lose. Oh, all right. It's one thing if we go up for a vote, we win, and it gets to the governor's desk and the governor vetoes it.
Supporters of the reparations say they're not giving up despite the setback.
It has to happen if we're going to have meaningful reparations to the people who deserve it. We're 160 years overdue for this.
I was a courtroom prosecutor. I took on perpetrators of all kinds.
Predators who abused women. Fraudsters who...
You cannot, that is out of order. The bills are the property of the House. There is no vote. It is the House. She made a statement. That is out of order. Bills are the property of the House. We do not vote. It's not debatable. It's not debatable, Mr. Azalea. It's not debatable. You can't. You're out of order. We are moving to file item 67.
Study. And we're saying no. We don't want another damn 2-year study. That's what the whole task force was about, to study. We've already been studying for a year or so. So the studying has already been going on. We need to start allocating resources. We got my sister Camilla Moore in the building right here. I want to have my sister Camilla explain what's going on, because there's some foolery going on. Sister Camilla?
Hi.
Hey, beloved, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you good.
There you go. So what is going on with the task force and the assembly and all of that?
Yeah, so I was the chair of the California Reparations Task Force. The task force, we finished our work about a year ago. Right? We finished our work in 2023. And so now it's up to the California Legislative Black Caucus to have turned our recommendations into legislation. And so State Senator Stephen Bradford, who was on the task force with me, he, independently of the Black Caucus, introduced 2 very strong lineage-based reparations bills. One of them, and both are unprecedented in what they would do for Black people in California and across the country and around the world.
The first bill is SB or Senate Bill 1403 that would create the California American Freedmen Affairs Agency, our own agency for descendants of slaves, right?
Yes.
The other bill is SB 1331, which would create a new account in the state treasury, a fund, a reparations fund, again, just for our specific group. And so these bills have went through all the committee stages. This is the last final stage. Is for one of the members of this of the CLBC, the California Legislative Black Caucus. All they have to do is bring these two bills on the assembly floor, either by tomorrow or Saturday. Saturday is the last day for them to do this. All they have to do is bring these two bills for a vote. We have the votes. The assembly will vote for these bills. All they have to do is bring them to the floor. But there are rumors that the CLBC does not want to bring these two bills on the floor because they are mad at Bradford for introducing these bills independently. They feel like, you know, he went on his own and he should have consulted with them. And then we're also hearing rumors that Newsom may not want to sign these bills, right? Because of his political aspirations. And so at this point, we have to put pressure on our own people, unfortunately. We have to put pressure on our own Black legislators to do the right thing and bring these two bills to the floor by tomorrow. We're not even giving them Saturday because Saturday is technically the last day, but we are putting pressure for them to bring these two bills on the floor by tomorrow.
Yes. Yes, indeed. So if you see up in the Jumbotron, there's a flyer that my sister Camilla put together that has phone numbers and emails. If you're in the Bay, it would be great, or Sacramento, I'm sorry. It would be great if you can actually go down there tomorrow. What time are they assembling tomorrow?
The session starts at 10 a.m. And because, you know, the sessions may run until the afternoon, like 6 p.m. Because, again, they have to pass hundreds of bills by the legislative deadline of Saturday, August 31st. So they're going to be working all day tomorrow and maybe Saturday. And so that's why we want to make sure that we're putting pressure on them as early as possible tomorrow.
Yes.
So that they bring these bills to the floor by tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. So, family, we need everybody, those numbers that's on that flyer, call. Everybody call them tomorrow. Let them know we need those bills on the floor. We need them because they were supposed to bring them to the floor. They've been kind of lollygagging and dragging feet. So we need them to go ahead and push that forward, get those bills on the floor and pass them and get them signed. So we need the family to call. Heavy duty tomorrow, family. All right. And sister, I will check in with you in a couple of more days to see what progress is made up there. And oh, you got my number. Just let me know what's going on. Keep me posted. All right.
Okay.
All right. So we heard enough. We've seen enough. They debacle the reparations based off of, because they said he pressed the bill independently and that ruffled their feathers in some form of way. So they turned their back on the entire race because their issue with the brother who brought who presented these two bills, and because he independently presented these bills without their permission, because obviously they feel like he needed their permission, so they didn't go up there and sign it, and therefore that halted the process and fucked up the whole point, the whole buildup of getting it to where it was at. So everything is back to the beginning process. Everything resets to the beginning process of getting it passed to the House, getting passed to the Senate, and being able to bring it for the vote to the Black Caucus, so the Black Caucus can get it Basically, I guess they needed their votes on the floor in order for it to be presented to the governor, and he could have signed. Oh, these are our people. These are the people who represent us. Was it a black thing they represented or a Democrat thing they represented it? When is being a Democrat more important than being black? When is being a Democrat more important than being black? They failed us, y'all. They failed us. Maybe because he's well off. Maybe because a lot of them are well off. They have good jobs. They have money. They don't care about reparations because they're not affected by financial problems. They have no financial issues in the world, so they don't care, and they don't acknowledge other people within the black community issues that are that may be unfortunate and don't have the financial support that they need in order to survive in everyday life. But since they're well off, they decide, fuck it, we don't need the bill. I'm good. Fuck them niggas. Basically what they said. Fuck them niggas. So that's what it is. You heard it. Live and direct. We debunk lies. The lies are not allowed. I'm not going to allow people to live with a lie. We're not going to let lies be untold. Just go. We're not going to let lies just go out like there and shit, and without being a real fact check on these lies. A lot of things were fact checked last night in the debate that Trump said. Were they fact checked clearly? I don't know, because obviously not. This video that I just posted just showed you. A lot of things were not fact checked correctly, and in fact, Trump was the only person that was fact checked. So, and as I proved, as I showed you, several videos of the inconsistencies of Kamala Harris's politics and lies. Her values have switched and shifted from here to there. Hey, and if y'all decide that y'all want to be sold by a salesman, she's the salesman. And you just got sold. And that's the end of the show, y'all. Those who haven't watched the show, man, thank you for watching. Those who have, you might want to get tapped in at the end. Get tapped in after I tap this out, and go back and see. Oh yeah, there was a lot of reveal in this video. A lot of reveal, not opinion. This is not opinionated video. We stuck to the facts. Fuck all that opinion shit. Opinions is what's getting people make people make bad decisions. You gotta make decisions off of facts, not opinions. Opinions is gonna make you make a bad decision. Facts is gonna make you make the correct decision, and that's why we got to stand on facts. Give people the facts to build off of. Facts in order to determine your decision, and not emotions. Facts over feelings. That's what we're talking about. All right, that's pretty much it. You guys stick high. I'm out this motherfucker. I mean, a lot of y'all don't appreciate this dope ass shit I'm out here doing for the black community and pointing out certain things, because it just I don't know, maybe it hurts. Truth hurts. When people hear the truth, it's easy to reject it, to act like you didn't hear it, act like you didn't see it. You're just as bad as the crooked politicians that's in office. The people that act like they don't hear and see things are just as bad as the crooked politicians we have in office. And that's all I was saying about that. We're going to end this show. Thank you for tapping in. I'm your guy, Stick High. We're Riders Only Radio. We're about to be out this bitch. I'm just to go ahead and play some music, and we're going to be up out the way. But yeah, that's it, y'all.
Dame la ciencia. Lukey, let that shit. Look, true grip. I walk up on niggas like who did? Ruthless, she wanna suck on the crew dick. Spaz out, I fuck on your bitch, then I pass out. These niggas, they say that they catching them bodies, I leave a little nigga assed out. True grip, I walk up on niggas like who did? Ruthless, she wanna suck on the crew dick. Spaz out, I fuck on your bitch, then I pass out. These niggas, they say that they catching them bodies, I leave a little nigga assed out. True grip, ain't new to this nigga, I'm true to this. These niggas, they say that they running it up. When you locked in the cell, you be loose lit. Fuck around and make you spaz out. Dick in her mouth with her ass out. Her nigga at home keep calling her phone. She picked it up, I made her smash out. Run it up, if it's something little nigga, you know what's up. I'm burning up in the cup with the text, so you know what's up. Dirty cup, don't fuck with you niggas, I hit them up. These niggas, they say that they catching them bodies, you little niggas can't fuck with us. Never change, I'm in my own lane. Gino 400, you know the name. Solid niggas rockin' with the gang, gotta let it bang, reaching for my chain. Never change, I'm in my own lane. Gino 400, you know the name. Solid niggas rockin' with the gang, gotta let it bang, reaching for my chain. True grip, I walk up on niggas like who did? Ruthless, she wanna suck on the crew dick. Spaz out, I fuck on your bitch and I pass out. These niggas, they say that they catching the bodies, I leave a little nigga assed out. True crit, I walk up on niggas like who did? Ruthless, she wanna suck on the crew dick. Spaz out, I fuck on your bitch then I pass out. These niggas, they say that they catching them bodies, I leave a little nigga assed out. Look, I'm too sick, only rock with the gang cause we moving shit. Don't fuck with these niggas like who is this? He got his hands up, he ain't whooping shit. Gun him down, few shots to his legs, he ain't running now. Face down on the ground, now you bloody now. While we smoke on the op, got a whole pound. Young nigga, don't speak on no peace, we go dumb nigga. Run nigga, I'm feeding you up, feeling numb nigga. Bum nigga, I fuck on your bitch, make her come nigga. Your bitch, she be calling and texting my phone, telling me I am the one nigga. I know you mad, gotta feel it bad. Beefing with me, it'll never last. You talking smoke, then I'm on your ass. When I catch this op, I'ma do him bad. I know you mad, I gotta feel it bad. Beefing with me, it'll never last. You talking smoke, then I'm on your ass. When I catch this op, I'ma do him bad. True crip, I walk up on niggas like who did? Ruthless, she wanna suck on the crew dick. Spaz out, I fuck on your bitch, then I pass out. These niggas, they say that they catching the bodies, I leave a little nigga assed out. True crip, I walk up on niggas like who did? Ruthless, she wanna suck on the crew dick. Spaz out, I fuck on your bitch, then I pass out. These niggas, they say that they catching the bodies, I leave a little nigga assed out. True crip, I walk up on niggas like who did? Ruthless, she wanna suck on the crew dick. Spaz out, I fuck on your bitch and I pass out. These niggas, they say that they catching the bodies, I leave a little nigga assed out.